Can you hear me now? I am so sorry. Guys, I will go back and go through all of this because if Robert can't hear me, that means you can't hear me either. I am so sorry. um, so this live is going to be a little bit long today since I need to go back and go through all my notes of what I was sharing. But our topic today was take charge of your thoughts. Thank you so much for letting me know. Yes. I think I was having microphone issues, my actual microphone that's in front of me. So, taking charge of your thoughts. I apologize, everyone, if you could not hear me, but I will run back through my notes right quick so that you can actually hear the information I was trying to share. Thank you very much, Robert, for letting me know that. So, today we're talking about the whole concept of controlling your thoughts. Really important topic. In order to take charge of your thoughts and grow your business, you have to take charge of your thoughts, right? To take charge of your business and your life, okay? You have to take charge of your thoughts. So, diving into this concept of taking charge of your thoughts, we believe that our thoughts are out of control sometimes. Or that it's something that we can't control. There are many different ways that this can happen, and a lot of it is those voices, that gibberish that's in your head, right? And your thoughts you have can just, get in the way sometimes. So tell me in the comments if you kind of have letting your thoughts take over, and or you think that they're true, because frankly sometimes they're not, especially if it's negativity. But even when those thoughts come up, if you don't put somebody else's thought or put another name to those thoughts or something, if that helps you, okay? When my thoughts come up in my head, sometimes I'll turn on some music, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast or a training video, to kind of put something else in my head and quiet that gibberish down that's going on in my head, all those voices. And the other thing that will help quieten that gibberish in your head is taking action. So the problem is that the gibberish is telling us not to take action. You can't do X, Y, Z. But if you just go ahead and jump in and start doing X, Y, Z, it's going to kind of shut that gibberish up, so to speak, right? The other thing I want to talk about is we believe that just because something is in our head is true. That's not the case. That is definitely not the case. So just because I think something doesn't mean it's true at all. And to be open to exploring that makes a big difference. There's a book. Sorry, it fell to the floor. Let me grab it. Called Mindset. Okay. By Carol Dweck. It's been around for a while. You can order it off Amazon if you like. It really, really helps, because what happens is when we believe that we can't make a difference in our life or in our business, that's called a closed mindset. And we get stuck. And I've been in a closed mindset before, and I'm sure possibly some of you have too, where, our thoughts take control of us, okay? Or it feels like we're swaying all the time by looking at the concepts and listening to those voices in our head, okay? But you want to be mindful of them and have an open mindset, which is anything is possible, right? And by having that open mindset, it can make a big impact on your life and your business, because we can manage our thoughts, right? It gives you hope. It gives you possibilities instead of leading you to a dead end. A dead end is not where you want to be. The closed mindset is really all about leading you to a dead end, and that's not what you want. You don't want to act on everything you think, but if you act on everything, it might be like, I bought a ceiling fan. I bought a brown ceiling fan to put in my house. And then I started looking at my neighbors' photos where they're selling their house and saw that they had a white ceiling fan. So I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have got the brown ceiling fan. I should have got the white one. But that's not necessarily the case, spinning in action, right? With the voices in my head, about the decision that I made when I bought the brown ceiling fan. I thought it out for a long time. I talked with different family members. Jeff, my daughter, all agreed, the brown ceiling fan was the best one for where I'm wanting to put it. And then it's like I'm throwing all that out the window just because I saw a picture of my neighbor's house that they're selling and they had a white ceiling fan. So I had to stop myself and say, you bought one fan, just install it. Let's see what it looks like. If you don't like it, or if you think it's not going to work in that specific room, there's other rooms in the house where you could put that brown ceiling fan, right? So, and then you can go get the white one if you want to. So just install it and see how it works in that particular spot. You might love it. You might hate it, but you have to put it up to figure that out, right? So don't decide and change everything just because of someone else, up the street or close by or whatever has the same item in their house, and by reacting to it. And it's the same in our business. I'm running Tiger Eye Solution, my Tiger Eye Solution business, and people say you should charge a lot more when you do websites or do this or do that. I make the decision of how much I want to charge to do websites or do this service or that service. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Then I think maybe I should do that. Then it's easy to just, reinvent everything instead of focusing on my client work, spreading the word about my business, and getting clear about what I do, and networking. Because all those things are going to move the needle and bring in more clients, right? So that's where being proactive, that's where my focus needs to be. That's where my thoughts need to be, is in those areas. That's going to move the needle in my business and bring in more customers. Now, I may have a specific payment system that could be confusing, or I'm trying to figure out a payment system or whatever the case may be, and it might get complicated for me. And my clients have no idea, but I can walk them through it. People have ideas all the time. Just because they plop it in front of us, another virtual assistant that I know may do her payment plan this way, and I'll do mine another way. Just because she's doing hers that way doesn't mean I have to too. We all have different types of businesses. So we have to pick and choose what type of system is going to be best for our payments, what type of systems we want to use, period, in our business. Because just because I use certain systems doesn't mean those same systems are going to work for you in your business, right? So you have to pick and choose the particular platforms and systems and processes that you want to put in place for your business. And it's really kind of based on what type of business you have, right? So there are things to do to control your thoughts. And the first thing is to be strong and manage. Let's use the word manage. Okay. So to manage your thoughts, you have to be aware of them. That means You need to monitor what you're thinking, and you have to have an open mindset about whatever that is, whatever is going on at that given time. So if someone comes in and said the wall is purple and you see that it's white or green, obviously that's not true. What they said, the wall is purple, that's not true. But when there's a gray area, we get confused sometimes. We muddle through everything in our brain. So what I want you to do as you're thinking things, I want you to notice them. I want you to notice negativity because it's going to come up, right? I want you to notice that closed thinking. I want you to start to use, to turn your phrases around. So an example of that would be, I have to XYZ. Instead of saying I have to, you could say I decided to XYZ. Instead of I have to do XYZ, you could say I decided to do XYZ. Because I have to, that sounds negative and you're not in control of that. But when I say I decided to, you decided to do something. Deciding is much more powerful, right? I decided to do XYZ. So lots of phrases like this, okay? That takes our power away. It really is. And by taking charge of our thoughts in that way and flipping them around and saying it a little bit differently, even I can't, that has no power. Instead of saying I can't meet you for lunch, say, how about, if somebody asks you to go to lunch today and you're not available to go to lunch today, don't say I can't go to lunch today. Say, how about we meet for lunch on Monday? Maybe you are available to go to lunch on Monday. You're not available today, but maybe you are on Monday. So don't say I can't meet you for lunch. Just say, how about we meet for lunch on Monday? That lets them know you are available to meet for lunch on Monday, that you're not available to meet for lunch today, right? So listen to the voices or the gibberish that's in your head, and I think you'd be surprised how much power that you're actually giving away on a regular basis by the different phrases and the different words that you choose to use. So try to be more mindful of the phrases and the words that you're using when you're speaking to people in your daily life and in your business. Because like I said, even changing the words around when somebody asks you to go to meet them for lunch can make a huge difference. I can't meet you for lunch. Doesn't even sound good, right? How about we meet for lunch on Monday? That lets them know you're available to go to lunch on Monday, but not today. All right. If you have any questions around any of this, please reach out. I'd love to chat about it. Again, here's the book, The Mindset Book by Carol Dweck, that you can, is really, really beneficial, guys. I've read this book twice, and it's a really good book. And I highly recommend that you purchase it if you haven't already. So again, if you are watching on YouTube or on a different avenue of streaming, because we stream in different places, please go ahead and click that subscribe button or ring that bell so that you'll be notified every time that we do go live. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll see you again next week.